fans are certainly ready. Wonderful atmosphere as they look to roar their players to a 5th win of the season. ASVEL looking to spoil the party and grab a road win. A bottom of the a battle of the bottom 2 in the standings. And let the action commence. It's Glyn Watson out for Nondo De Colo. Vautier sets the screen for him. Nondo from mid-range is good. Of course he's good. Nondo De Colo has sunk just a couple of thousand of those jumpers. And he gets ASVEL up and running. Clark in the backcourt with Lonnie Walker trying the same kind of shot as De Colo. It's off the mark, but there's the first offensive rebound taken by Brissett and Jalen Horde. Now into Sorkin. Walker makes the 3, so he missed the 2-pointer. They get the offensive rebound courtesy of Brissett, and Walker turns it into 3 points. De Colo pass inside on Vautier with one of the worst misses you will see all season. Inexplicable from Vautier, as Walker now takes advantage by driving through. ASVEL a bit stunned by that miss at the other end. Lonnie Walker with 5 points in the first 90 seconds. How on earth did Vautier miss that? Maybe he was already thinking about running back on defense, or perhaps wondering why he was so open. But he did miss it. Is now going to work inside. It's by Ndiaye, who is fouled by Clark. And we see Lonnie Walker, his fast start to the game. He scored from long range, and then he just about rolled that one around and in. Fire in his eyes as he looks to maintain his great form. 23 points for Walker last week in the win at Žalgiris. 5 already here. Ndiaye gets both the free throws to go down. And Jimmy Clark now for Walker. That one is well off the mark. An uncontested rebound for De Colo. Ball gets away from him, but still plenty of time for De Colo. What a pass that is. A bounce pass that barely got above knee height to evade the defense. And an easy finish for Agensa. De Colo, if he's not scoring, he'll create for others. And there's a pass deflected. Clark looking to feed it through De Colo style. It will be Maccabi ball. Sorkin with the instant 3 is well off. And there's De Colo again. ASVEL with the lead. 1 score, 1 creation from De Colo, and now 2 scores from Nondo. He's still one of the best. There was a rumor towards the end of last season that he might be thinking of retirement. But when he's still playing at this level, why would he? And that's a great pass for Agensa to score again. This time it was Glyn Watson with the feed. And ASVEL now 4 of 5 from the field, up to a 5-point lead. And Menorah Miftachim not quietened, not silenced, but the volume has dropped. Sorkin will try and get a bit of noise back, and that's basket interference against Ndiaye, so that will count. But a nice reminder being served here early on by the ASVEL players. We're here to play as well. De Colo for 3 and 1. What a start from Nondo De Colo. 7 points without a miss and an assist. Oh, and a rebound. He's doing everything. We've only had 3.5 minutes. But he is here to lead his team tonight. And they'll have a chance to make it a 4-point play. And look at those ridiculous numbers. The most accurate free throw shooter in EuroLeague history. He's made 52 out of 52 so far. And there's no such thing as a commentator's curse when it comes to Nando De Colo. He drops another one in, as easy as that. And it's a 7-point lead. And great credit to ASVEL for having the mental strength to keep themselves composed in this electric atmosphere. And that's a good foul by Vautier to prevent the shot of Sorkin. And as I was saying, Oded Katash's men now, if they didn't know it before, will have it very clearly in their minds. Okay, we've got a game to play here. There's been so much expectation. Their first home game back in this arena for more than 2 years. Easy to get swept away with the occasion rather than the game, which is what they have to focus on now. There's Walker, Sorkin, mid-range. That will go. We saw Thomas Hurtel has stepped in for De Colo. The only change in personnel so far. Here is Hurtel finding Vautier, who doesn't miss this time. Blew the easiest shot of the season a few minutes ago. No way he's going to miss 2 like that. And they keep going. 5 of 6 from the field. Here's Walker. Slings it to Clark. Off the mark. Pushed away by Ndiaye, but straight to Walker. ASVEL get it again. Walker nearly lost it, but able to pick it up and evade the attempted block of Ndiaye. So it's Lonnie Walker with 7 of the 11 points scored by Maccabi so far. Oh, that's a poor pass from Watson. Turned over, and it's going to be an easy finish for the high-flying Jimmy Clark. Jalen Horde with the assist after Watson seemed to not see the opponents despite their bright yellow. Here's Watson trying to get himself going offensively now, and he can't do so. Maybe trying to make amends, trying perhaps a bit too much. Maccabi making a little bit of a run as we head to a timeout. 13-16 midway through the first quarter, and we'll take the break to look forward to something tomorrow night.
We welcome you to Belgrade for one of the occasions of the season. It's Partizan against Crvena Zvezda, a collision of 2 Serbian capital clubs, the derby of all derbies. Here in Serbia, in this nation where basketball is religion, this is Goosebumps basketball.
Well, what a start from Nando De Colo in the opening 4 minutes. He scored 8 points, a couple of 2s, a 3, which came with a foul. He added the free throw, of course, and an assist, a PIR of 11 for the 38-year-old. He's the second highest scorer, second highest in PIR, all time in the EuroLeague. And it's not a coincidence, I don't think, that since he went to the bench, Maccabi have narrowed the deficit. Will Raymond has come into the game for Maccabi. And for ASVEL, Zach Selias and Borian Massa into the action for the first time. Maccabi with a 6-2 run. They'll be looking to turn that something into more substantial. Try and take the lead before the end of this first quarter. Jimmy Clark sidestepping his way through. Massa can only pack the rebound back to Clark. And here is Sorkin going against Massa. Great spin move by Roman Sorkin going to his left. Continuing his excellent start. 6 points without a miss from 2-point range. Now Celias for Watson, who's not got going yet. Urtel up against Raymond. Now shooting over Sorkin. Thomas Urtel cannot get it to go. ASVEL have lost their way since DeColo went to the bench. Sorkin for three. And this time off the mark and grabbed by Celias. Maccabi with 3 offensive rebounds already. Celias and Massa with important jobs now of making sure that isn't added to. Sorkin to the bench and Marcio Santos entering. Tamir Blatt also into the game, with Jimmy Clark heading to the sidelines. Shaq Harrison into the action and immediately to take on the three for ASVEL, which he cannot convert. And it is just 2 points in 3 minutes for ASVEL as Maccabi light it up with the throwdown from Jalen Horde, moving into the lead. That's got the fans up to full volume again. An 8-0 run. And Harrison now finds Celias, looking for the three. Again, is no good. As Tamir Blatt finds Walker. Marcio Santos, what a pass! And Lonnie Walker can drop it in. The big man turning provider there. Marcio Santos, beautiful bounce pass into the stride of Lonnie Walker, who's up to 9 points already. Look at this distribution. Finding the gap in the defense. And that makes it a 10-0 run for Maccabi. ASVEL have to take a timeout, with the home team finding their groove. We're listening to Oded Katash.
No reject, be on the right positioning is the active. We run now and then.
So the alley-oop connection between Tamir Blatt and Jalen Horde, the highlight reel moment in a 10-0 run for Maccabi that has got them into the lead. And ASVEL need to respond now. No surprise to see that Nando DeColo is back on the floor. Everything good that happened for them in this game went through him. They just do occasionally have these periods of games where they lose their way. For ASVEL, it was a costly one last week. Celias takes on the three that's not going to go. To say they should have won last week. ASVEL, they were up by 11 with 6 minutes left at Hapoel, but then allowed a 21-3 run against them. Here's Marcio Santos, kicks it out for TJ Leaf, back to Marcio. He's making a great start here. Great assist for Walker, and now the jumper goes. Ife Lundberg and TJ Leaf in the game for the home team, as Urtel is fouled on his way through. That was Marcio Santos, who found the basket here. Nice pass from Leaf. Maccabi with 8 assists already, and 6 different players responsible for them. That was a shooting foul, so Ertel can go to the line. Another of the veteran backcourt at ASVEL's disposal. DeColo, 38 years old. Ertel, 36. Also have Edwin Jackson, another veteran who's out injured at the moment. Ertel is still finding his way with ASVEL, only his 4th appearance tonight after missing the start of the season with injury. Here's Ife Lundberg, another who's finding his feet with his new club, the former Partizan player, playing for just the 3rd time in Maccabi colours. ASVEL still with a couple of fouls to give towards the end of the first quarter. Here is Lundberg, shoots over Ertel. Well, that rebound had to be taken, but it wasn't. Oh, what a block that is! Shaquille Harrison going up against a much taller Will Raymond. Perfect timing and strength to swat it away. Here is DeColo turning it over, and then Leaf drawing the foul. DeColo felt that he was fouled. What about the block here? Raymond thought he had an easy score, but look at that from Harrison. Possibly a little bit of contact with the hand, but no whistle. Here's Tamir Blatt. Maccabi with no turnovers yet. Blatt finding Santos, who can kick it out for Leaf. DeColo rebounds. Celias, big size advantage over Blatt, and he finds a nice feed for the cut of Shaquille Harrison. He gets them back to within 2. 30 seconds. Maccabi might have their last possession here with a foul to give for ASVEL. Be sure they're aware of that. Can they use it, though? Yeah. Well, no, in fact. It was just lost by Leaf. That is a turnover. I think Celias was prepared to foul him, to use the foul they had, but didn't need to. And so Maccabi can have the last possession to tie or take the lead right at the end of the first quarter. They have DeColo, Ertel, Njaye, Harrison and Celias. No surprise who they want to get it to. Can they find Nondo? Well, Njaye taking on that shot with loads of time left still. And DeColo looks at him and says, what are you doing? Why not get me the ball? He was way out there. Njaye as well. Maybe just didn't see the clock correctly. Thought there was less time than there was. They didn't get themselves a good shooting opportunity. And now here is Jalen Horde from the halfway line. Can't finish the quarter on a high for Maccabi, but the home team have responded well to get themselves in front. After a fast start from ASVEL, Maccabi dominating the last few minutes to hold a 21-19 lead at the end of the first quarter in Tel Aviv. As we look at some of the numbers so far, Maccabi have not attempted any free throws yet, but they've been excellent from 2-point range. 9 of 13. ASVEL strong inside as well. Both teams struggling from deep, just 2 of 13 between them. Maccabi playing with great fluidity to record 8 assists so far. As we look at the fantasy challenge, grab the QR code if you're not already playing the game. You should do so, and you'll probably put Sasha Vezenkov in your team. That's what 29% of players do, just edging out Filip Petrushev. and Nikola Milutinov in the most popularly owned players in the Fantasy Challenge. The best performer of the first quarter with a PIR of 11 was Lonnie Walker for Maccabi. He scored the team's first 5 points, continuing where he left off last week in the win at Žalgiris. He got 23 points in that game, up to 9 already here, shooting 4 of 6 from the field, also with an assist and 3 rebounds. Lonnie Walker, the fourth, is your BKT top performer from the opening quarter. Actually had the same PIR 11 as the leader for the visiting team, Nondo De Colo, with 8 points. Walker just outscoring him. Just an issue on the scorers table before we can get underway again. Maccabi with Tamir Blatt, Ife Lundberg, Will Raymond, TJ Lee from Marcio Santos, looking to stretch their 2-point lead. Lundberg. And Leaf guarded aggressively by Massa. Back for Lundberg, who will drive through and draw the foul in the act of shooting. And that is a second on Celias. So possibly Pierre Poupé will bring him to the bench. Lundberg trying to score his first points of the night. A modest start to his Maccabi career, averaging 6.5 points, a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists over the last 2 games, his first 2 for the club. No doubt about his experience, though, and versatility. He could offer a lot to this team in the next few months. Hotel, De Colo, Harrison, so 3 guards for ASVEL with Massa and Celias. Here is Celias taking on another 3. It's offensive rebound for Harrison. So they'll start again with Hotel. There's an offensive foul. No, it's not an offensive foul. I thought it was going to be on Massa as he tangled with Raymond. It's gone the other way. Now Celias does go to the bench for ASVEL with Melvin Agensa back in. And Marcio Santos replaced by Romain Sorkin. And another change with the captain, John Di Bartolomeo, getting his first involvement as Will Raymond is rested. And this is a special night for Di Bartolomeo more than any other Maccabi player, as the longest serving player since 2017. Di Bartolomeo has represented Maccabi. He'll be happier than anyone to be back in the Menorah Miftachim arena. More changes. Vautier back in the paint for ASVEL. As Agensa, the floater is good. And he's perfect from the field now. 3 of 3 for 6 points, Melvin Agensa. Not much rhythm to the early stages of this second quarter, but there is Tamir Blatt making the 3. We haven't had many of those so far tonight. 2 of 9 now. Maccabi from deep as Blatt strikes. Nondo looks to answer. Anything you can do, Nondo De Colo, of course, can do. He's perfect from the field as well. 11 points now. Sorkin just about keeping this alive, finding Blatt then setting the screen for him, skipped over for Lundberg, stepping back for the three. Well, nobody could score a triple. And now we've had three in about 40 seconds. Blatt, De Colo, Lundberg. Here's De Colo looking for the two this time. Couldn't get a soft enough touch. And Agensa fouling in transition. So a first miss of the night for De Colo after this step-back three from Ife Lundberg. Stretching Maccabi's lead up to 5 points, which is the highest it's been so far tonight. Here he is orchestrating again. Going up against Vautier, short on the shot, and Harrison takes another rebound, his third. Nondo, in for Vautier. He's got a mismatch against Lundberg. And then reaching in for the foul was Lundberg, his second. I'm around the ref to say, you sure? That's okay, I was ready to go to the bench anyway. Let's get Lonnie back in. The first quarter's top scorer, Lonnie Walker, returning as ASVEL get Glyn Watson back in the game. Agensa looking for Vautier, but that was asking too much. And up leaps Horde, who can attack now, finds the pass, and the foul is made on Sorkin as he misses out on the opportunity for an and one. It's a second foul on Vautier. Sorkin will go to the line. And that's the first free throw miss of the night for Maccabi. Oded Katash is spreading the playing time tonight. 11 players already used by the home team coach. Only Gurlavi not being called into action. And Giaye. Now Watson, scoreless so far. Shaq Harrison up against Sorkin. Mid-ranger. Ooh, looked like it was going. They get the offensive rebound. Vautier tapping it down, and he will now battle his way inside, and that's a good, strong finish after he uses his physique to get into shooting position. Blatt loses it, but gets it back, and John Di Bartolomeo for three. It looked automatic as soon as he got into his shooting motion. You almost knew it was going in. Highest lead of the night for Maccabi, 7 points. Continuing to dominate as they have since midway through the first. Watson can find Ndiaye, who wriggles his way clear but misses the dunk. And Lonnie Walker in transition, and one. Well, what a swing there. It should have been 2 points for ASVEL. Instead, it's probably going to be 3 for Maccabi. A 5-point swing in the home team's favour. The second time tonight that ASVEL have missed an open basket at the rim. Lonnie Walker among those playing at the Menorah Miftachim Arena in the EuroLeague for the first time, getting the love from his fans who are very much enjoying what he is bringing. And he can make it a double-digit game, which he duly does. 12 points for Lonnie. A 10-point lead, and ASVEL have got to stop the bleeding here, and it would help their cause if they didn't miss simple baskets like that last one for Ndiaye. Vautier similarly guilty earlier. Here's Watson. He's a player who could turn things around quickly. Massa. He never looked like he wanted to take the shot on. He battles hard to try and grab his own miss, but in the end can't do so. Great offensive efficiency from Maccabi so far tonight. 10 assists, only 1 turnover, 10 of 15 from two-point range. And there's another. Sorkin from mid-range. Tamir Blatt with his 3rd assist. They are smoothly functioning tonight on their return to Tel Aviv, Maccabi. ASVEL need to answer. Just 7 points in the quarter. Here's Glyn Watson. Got a speed advantage over Sorkin, but whoa! Jalen Horde says you're not going to score there. And Lonnie Walker finishes in transition. Maccabi are flying here. And look at how the fans are loving it. All action at both ends. Jalen Horde swats it away. Lonnie Walker, the grateful recipient, throws it down in transition. The lead is up to 14 points now after a 10-0 run. Now, what a moment this was for Maccabi fans. And seeing tough defense, transition offense, and a ferocious finish, all in the space of 5 seconds. They've been waiting a long time to cheer on moments like this. And I think there's a lot of people around the EuroLeague who'll be looking at Maccabi and thinking, okay, now they're a different proposition. Maccabi fans have long had a reputation as among the loudest in the competition. And that's bound to make a difference. You're bound to miss them when you don't play in front of them. And here's Watson trying to respond, and ASVEL needed that. Glyn Watson scores his 1st basket of the night. And driving through again, it's Lonnie Walker, unstoppable tonight. 16 points in 10 minutes. Hotel at the other end. An unconventional pass by Massa, but it's back for Celias. Massa essentially sitting down as he somehow found Watson, who kicked it back for Celias. So consecutive triples for ASVEL. And they'll try and further narrow the gap here. Hotel. And Ndiaye, just about stays in bounds. And Hotel will organise. Ndiaye. Foul is it on Blatt as he tangled with Massa, pulling him away from the path of the pass. And Blatt, on committing his 1st foul, will go to the bench. Jimmy Clark, the 3rd, comes back in. Good start to the game for Blatt. Here's Hotel, nowhere near. Walker adds another rebound. Di Bartolomeo thought about the 3. Instead, he sees that Glyn Watson had to match up against Roman Sorkin. Threw the pass in. Watson didn't have much choice but to make the foul. Which will ask Sorkin to score from the line. Oded Katash probably not thinking about anything beyond tonight's game just yet. He'll be focused on what his team need to do to get this win now. But with so many games remaining, when he reflects on what is possible for his team over the course of the campaign, he'll be full of belief that they can start pushing up towards the playoff places now that they are back home. As Ertel finds Celias, back to the playmaker. Massa setting a screen and rolling. An extra pass on for Ndiaye, and that's one of the best pieces of basketball we've seen from ASVEL tonight, collectively. Ertel, Massa and Ndiaye all combining. As Lonnie Walker steps back, looks for another. Can't find this one. Massa rebounds. Ertel. Nice pass for Watson. That's not going to go. And Di Bartolomeo gets the rebound, but then throws it straight to Ertel. Now Ndiaye can... Oh, my word. That's a third horrible miss from ASVEL tonight. 2 of them for Ndiaye. They cannot afford to do that. Uh-oh. Would have been even worse if Lonnie had made the 3. Great outlet pass from Ertel. And Watson will go to the line as he's fouled by Clark. But ASVEL, they've missed 3 easy baskets tonight. That's 6 points you've just given away. What a difference that would make to the scoreboard. 44-40. It's very different than 44-34. TJ Leaf and O'Shea Brissett coming back in for Maccabi. As Watson has a rare miss from the line. 90% for the season, Glyn Watson. He's not going to miss 2 in a row, surely. There we go. So that makes it a single-digit game, and that, at the minimum, has to be ASVEL's target by half-time. Stay in contention. Win the next 3 minutes. If Maccabi go in up by double digits, it looks like a mountain to climb in the second half. Here is Lonnie Walker, turn around, mid-range, so smooth. 7 of 8 from 2-point range now for Lonnie Walker. 18 points in the half. On his way to a personal best night. Ertel will look for the 3, and it rattles in. And Oded Katash wants to talk things through with his defense, because ASVEL have found their way to score regularly in the last few minutes. Should have been more if Ndiaye hadn't missed a couple of simple ones, but they are back to a margin of 8, pulling it back from what had been a 14-point lead not so long ago, at 40-26. So ASVEL doing what they need to do to try and keep this competitive before half-time.
ואנחנו שולחים לו ולמשפחה חיבוק גדול. זכרו של תומר יישאר איתנו תמיד בלב.
Well, Lonnie Walker in his second season in the EuroLeague. He had a spell last year with Žalgiris where he first showcased to the continent his scoring ability. Then returned to the United States for a few months before heading back now with Maccabi and making a mark. Averages 15 points per game this season. He's already breezed past that tonight with 18. A PIR of 22. He's closing in on his personal best. 27 points against Real Madrid earlier this season. also had his best PIR in that game, which was 25. The way he's going, he will cruise past both of those figures tonight, maybe even by half-time if he keeps at it. Here he is, up against DeColo, switching now onto Massa, which means DeColo is up against Leaf inside the paint. Horde will take it in himself. Leaf picks up the loose shot, turns around, can't score, and eventually Ndiaye with the rebound. Now DeColo will drive at Leaf. Well read by Horde. Celias jumps in front of him. Great anticipation there from Horde to jump in the passing lane that DeColo was looking at. His second turnover tonight. Horde's second steal. They are in the bonus, so that will allow free throws. The first of which cannot be converted by Jalen Horde. Not putting up his usual numbers at the moment. Man who averages 7.2 rebounds per game. Only has one so far tonight. Celias to the bench, Shaq Harrison back in, so the three-guard set again. Harrison, Ertel and DeColo. With Ndiaye and Massa. Here's DeColo. No look pass for Ertel, wants another three and makes it. So 2 of 2 from long range for Thomas Ertel. And ASVEL doing a good job of edging closer. Jimmy Clark, Lonnie Walker, O'Shea Brissett, TJ Leaf, Jalen Horde on the floor for Maccabi, 80 seconds before half-time hit. And here's Brissett fading away, no good, rebounded by Ndiaye. And here's Ertel looking for Massa, who's surrounded, so he gives it back to Nondo. Against Jimmy Clark, trying to draw some contact with DeColo. And he does so, and one! He was patient, he waited. He found a route to the basket, he drew the contact. Nobody, perhaps, ever in EuroLeague history is better than Nondo DeColo at doing that. He's not only the most accurate free throw shooter we've ever seen, he's arguably the best at getting to the line by finding those fouls. And he'll make it a three-point play now. I'm not saying he has the chance to, I'm saying he will, because he doesn't miss. Thank you, Nondo. 14 points for Nondo DeColo, trying to keep pace with Lonnie Walker and absolutely bringing ASVEL back. It's a 1-9 run. There's Lonnie Walker going away from Harrison, but turned over as he and Leaf were on different pages. Ertel fakes the pass, picked up by Ndiaye. The attempted block by Clark, but there was contact with the hand. All coming off the turnover. This was clever from Ertel, faking the pass, couldn't finish, but yeah, clear contact from Clark on the hand of Ndiaye, and that is his third. So we might not see Jimmy Clark until near the end of the third quarter now. Yeah, but Ndiaye can't make it count. He's had a bit of a tough night. 2 blown shots at the rim. 1 of 4 from the field. Splits those free throws. But the last few minutes have been owned by ASVEL. I said, what was it, 2.5 minutes ago, that they've got to win the next 3 minutes. They were down by 9 at that point. And the worst case scenario is they could have been down by 15 or 16 at half-time, but instead they have roared right back. So Clark to the bench on those 3 fouls, as if Lundberg comes back in. Lundberg, Walker, Brissett, Di Bartolomeo and Leaf. Lundberg taking his time, switching on to Massa. Now stepping inside, kicks it back. Di Bartolomeo can't make the three. Massa grabs the rebound, and 10 seconds for ASVEL to tie or take the lead at half-time. Ertel looking for Massa. It's going to be an ASVEL ball still, as it's deflected out of bounds. And surely they'll try and get it in the hands of Nondo De Colo. Maybe Celias, decent three-point shooter as well. They have Ertel, De Colo, Massa, and Giaye and Celias. And surely the first option will be Nondo for a three on the buzzer to take the lead at half-time. Can they get him free? Instead, it's Massa who's open for the throwdown. And it is a tie at half-time. De Colo was a decoy. Massa got free. Ertel found him. And the fierce finish from the big man caps a great run from ASVEL. A 1-12 run at half-time, getting them back on level terms, 47-47, a high-scoring game. And we'll go courtside to get some instant reaction. Thomas Ertel was instrumental in that comeback for ASVEL. Let's go to him.
Toma, team definitely stepped up in the last 2 minutes. What should be the mindset for the next 20?
I mean, we stopped them. With this crowd and these people, we have to stop them in defense. They have so many second chance. I think on the last few minutes we play a better defense. That's what we have to do in the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lonnie, you were on fire in the first 20 minutes, but what happened in those 2 last minutes to the team?
We just had to make shots. The game's all about runs. You know, we got to understand that, but we got to do a better job defensively. KY can't understand who's on the floor. And match their physicality. I think we're in a good place. We just got to up it a little bit more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it wasn't so much about making shots. It was about allowing ASVEL to make theirs. The visiting team scoring 4 baskets in the last 2.5 minutes of that half. De Colo with one of those to go up to 14 points. Walker is the leading scorer in the game with 18. Those two have been the main protagonists. PIR of 21 and 18, respectively, to make it a tied game in Tel Aviv.
EuroLeague brought to you by Etihad Beyond Borders. Experience Abu Dhabi. Motorola. And BKT.
It's been a very turbulent few days. Partizan still reeling from the resignation.
This for sure been tough. We just need one win. As long as we win one game and we get that feeling again, I think this team has so much talent and so much potential that we can just take off. Our time is going to come. Right now we're in a little slump, and I think as long as we just keep fighting and we keep trying to gut out wins, I think we'll put ourselves in a position. The good thing about this league is when you get rolling at the right time, then anything can happen.
There is life after Željko.
You just do whatever it takes to come out on top.
Nick Kalatis checks into the game, former EuroLeague champion.
Great player. His career speaks for itself. Champion. He's just coming here with an open mind and someone you can pick his brain and learn from. Whether it be just learning the ins and outs of Europe or learning the ins and outs of what he sees in the game, because he sees it totally different than a lot of guys who play the game. When we're home, you feel the love in the arena, but when we're on the road and you can get a road kill in that environment, it's no other feeling. There's no other place I've been where you get that love off the court. You can go anywhere in the city, there's a Partizan fan somewhere. it definitely makes you like understand who you are and what you mean to these people, the community around you, and that no matter what, although you do play basketball, it's bigger. So it's bigger than just basketball. It's like you're fighting not just for one club, but like every time you leave and you go play a team, and whether it be Greece, Germany, you're fighting for like Serbia because this is where this club is from. So it definitely it humbles you a little bit, and just realize that this is really special.
Obviously, we got off to a slow start, but that's expected. I mean, we had a whole new team, new players, new system for a lot of us. You know, things like that take a little bit of time. So last year I was kind of in a difficult spot. This year, I know the kind of player I am. You know, obviously, I've always been a scorer, you know, since high school, college, even NBA, I've had big games.
Jordan Warren running the floor like a thoroughbred. Jordan Warren got a step baseline and finishes with the two-fisted flush. Jordan Warren for three, and he scorches the twine.
This year is the first year overseas that, you know, I've been put in the positions to be, you know, the guy for a team. And, you know, I like, obviously, you know, having the points, having the PIR. The most important thing is having that and winning. I think the main thing is just, you know, to keep doing what I'm doing. I feel like I'm in a rhythm now, and I understand the system, my teammates, that I'll be able to keep it up. I mean, I personally feel even the type of player I am in Europe, there's not a lot of guys, you know, 6'8", who can do what I do. He's been great. He's instills confidence in a lot of our guys. You know, he loves basketball, which, you know, as a player, you love to see. He's all about winning the right things, and he's got us in a great position right now. The first thing that he said when he talked to our team, I think, was just him talking about Final Four, and he was just saying, like, you got to say it for it to happen. You know, kind of speak it into existence. So Final Four. That's at least what stuck with me, the first conversations we had. I think he's just put me in a lot of the right positions, you know, for my game. I think he understands me as a player, and I think he gives me, you know, kind of that freedom I need as the type of player I am, which is helping me be more successful and kind of taking the leap I've taken, you know, this season so far.
EuroLeague brought to you by Etihad Beyond Borders. Experience Abu Dhabi. Motorola. And BKT.
So welcome back to the first game this season at the Menorah Mivtachim Arena in Tel Aviv, where it is half-time and a tied game. ASVEL roaring back at the end of a first half that really did see some momentum swings. At the beginning, it was all the French team led by Nondo De Colo. They went up by 7, but then it was Maccabi taking over. And at one point, they were ahead by 14. That throwdown on the alley-oop from Jalen Horde, the highlight. Tamir Blatt, who assisted that, also hit from long range during a great run for the home team. But then it was De Colo back to the floor to return ASVEL onto the front foot, despite the consistent, continued scoring of Lonnie Walker. Walker with this transition dunk at a time when Maccabi really were in charge of the game. But between them, De Colo and his other experienced backcourt teammate, Thomas Hurtel, pulled ASVEL back, and that dunk from Bodian Massa on the buzzer made it 47-47 at the break. I said before the game that there's been nothing wrong with Maccabi offensively this season, the 6th highest scorers in the competition, but their problems have come from their defense, allowing more points than any other team. Both those things have held true tonight, haven't they? With a scoreline of 47-47. This man leading the way, Lonnie Walker, 18 points. Most of them at the rim, 7 of 8 from 2-point range. Only 1 triple so far tonight. Walker, one of the most dangerous long-range shooters in the league. He got 5 triples in the win at Žalgiris last week, but showing he's got different ways of finding the bottom of the net tonight. That was his solitary 3. That was very early. But on the whole tonight, it's been 2-point range from Lonnie Walker. As we look at the numbers for the two teams, Maccabi have been very good inside the arc. Both teams moving the ball well as well, with 11 assists, not many turnovers. The rebounding battle has been close. And the scoreline could not be closer, 47 points apiece. Well, as is customary, we'll be heading courtside as soon as possible to catch up with the two coaches. We know they'll both be emphasizing defense, and especially Maccabi, the way that ASVEL came back. Do you see there the scoring snakes from the first half? Maccabi were up by 14 at 40-26. Then ASVEL with a strong burst in the last few minutes, which will have pleased greatly the coach, Pierrick Poupet. Let's find out his thoughts ahead of the second half.
Coach, your team regrouped in the last couple of minutes of the second quarter. What changed?
What changed for us? The intensity and the confidence. We kind of froze the ball a little too much in offense. That's what they want from us, and we want to keep moving the ball. We want to force them to play defense. That's for the offensive part, and of course defensively we did a little more tough situations. We communicate better, so it's just one half. We need to do even much better than this to have a chance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There is the ASVEL shot zone, showing that they have made a decent number of shots from beyond the arc. 50% now, 6 of 12. They were 1 of 7 at one point, so they did well towards the end of that half. Here's the Maccabi coach, Oded Katash.
Coach, your team dropped in the last couple of minutes of the second quarter. What happened?
Yeah, we have to stay focused defensively. I mean, they want to push the ball, they want to get early situation. The last 5 minutes is start of the way we attack on offense, but we have to be focused 20 minutes. We are really excited to come back here, but we have to stay solid.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're excited to come back here, but they've got to keep their heads and play the game and not allow ASVEL a chance to control proceedings as they did towards the end of that first half. A reminder that this game is between the bottom 2 teams in the standings, but Maccabi with a win could climb level with up to 5 teams by the end of this round, and they're really by no means out of the playoffs race this early in the season. We've got 24 games still to go in the regular season. And so the first task for these two teams is to climb off the foot of the standings. Beyond that, they'd like to climb a lot higher. A reminder of the EuroLeague Fantasy Challenge. Sasha Vezenkov, your most popularly owned player. None of the players in tonight's game feature in that list, dominated by the Greek teams, 6 of the top 10. Olympiakos and Panathinaikos. Perhaps tells us about where a lot of the fantasy players come from, all of you fans out there in Greece. Now here's a revealing stat. The top performer of that second quarter was Thomas Hurtel for ASVEL, teaming up with Nundo De Colo to bring his team back. Had a PIR of 11 in the quarter, 6 points, 4 assists as well, and a couple of rebounds, a couple of steals also for Hurtel. So putting together by far his best game back in the EuroLeague for ASVEL. It's been a real journey around European basketball for Hurtel over the last 15 years. This is his third spell with ASVEL, having also represented Anadolu Efes, Baskonia, FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, Zenit St. Petersburg. Now playing alongside one of the greats, Nundo De Colo, who will be trying to inspire a road victory for ASVEL today. They've come close. Their last couple of road games, they were very much competitive at Barcelona. They should have won at Hapoel Tel Aviv last week, but they just couldn't last the pace. And that's perhaps with the short rotations that Pierrick Poupet has been able to play with. Only 11 players tonight. Energy will be a question. Can this relatively old ASVEL team, with the likes of Hurtel, 36, De Colo, 38, maybe David Lighty if he comes in, 37, can they keep pace with Maccabi in the second half? It's the home team's first possession. Lundberg, Walker, Horde, Santos and Raymond. And we continue the Lonnie Walker show, ladies and gentlemen. Straight back to it. He needs 15 seconds to get the first score of the second half as he continues to close on in his personal best. 27 points, he has 20 now. ASVEL, Glyn Watson answering with a similar finish. That's his first 2-pointer of the night. He's joined on the floor for ASVEL by De Colo, Agensa, Ndiaye and Vautier. Here's Horde. And Lonnie Walker for 3 this time. And De Colo is penalised underneath the basket. He sees the funny side as he is whistled for the contact with Will Raymond. That might be a little bit of ironic laughter from De Colo, who continues to guard up against Raymond. And now it's an offensive foul whistled as Agensa is blocked by Marcio Santos. And that is his third foul, so he will have to tread carefully now. Maccabi with a couple of players on 3. Jimmy Clark as well. No ASVEL player with more than 2 fouls. Here's Vautier, and that is an offensive foul called on Santos. On Vautier for backing in on Santos. So, quick exchange of fouls involving Marcio Santos. The second half looking for rhythm. Lundberg. Santos setting the screen as he switches on to Ndiaye, and now Raymond against De Colo. The second foul in quick succession on Nundo. Actually, that one is on Watson off the ball, not on De Colo. So already 3 fouls on ASVEL. And make that 4. As Vautier picks up another, his 4th. I said no ASVEL player is on more than 2 fouls. Vautier, with that offensive foul and now another, has seriously minimized his playing time as he picks up his 4th. And ASVEL, 4 team fouls in less than 90 seconds. So there should be plenty of opportunities for Maccabi to get to the foul line in the remainder of this quarter. Bodian Massa has come in to replace Vautier as Horde goes to the line. 1 of 2 from his earlier trip. Pretty discreet numbers so far for Horde, despite 16 minutes in the game. Just 4 points, 1 rebound. Has also contributed 2 steals and a block. He's missed another free throw. Can he save it? No, he cannot. So a rather flat start to the second half continues. Watson. Piccolo comes off the back screen to receive on the perimeter. Massa sets another screen and he goes back to shoot. Won't go. Raymond gets a hand to it, and then great work from Walker to swat it against, I think it was Massa, and get possession back for his team. And here's Lonnie Walker. Sorkin loses the handle on it, and Diaye comes away. Now Watson. Neither team playing with fluency at the moment. It's been scrappy this third quarter. DeColo to Watson. Lundberg comes to meet him. Massa sets a screen and rolls to the basket, which allows Glyn Watson to find a gap and breeze through. It's his second score of the quarter. ASVEL in front. As Lundberg for Sorkin. That lead didn't last for long. It was ASVEL's first lead since midway through the first quarter. They were up 15-16. Since then, they hadn't led until just now. Quickly wiped out by Sorkin, going up to 13 points. DeColo trying to get it to Ajinsar, who can feed Ndiaye, and he evades 2 attempted blockers. Walker and Sorkin trying to go up with Ndiaye with an emphatic finish, and ASVEL back in front again. So the back and forth nature of this third quarter continues. Lundberg for Sorkin, met by Massa. Turnaround is off the mark. Falls to Watson. Wants to go in transition quickly. DeColo attacking, can't score. Sorkin's attention was enough to disrupt the shot. Lonnie Walker for 3. Well, he's been off target mostly from long range tonight. 2 of 6 now. But he races up to 23 points. Remember, his career high is 27. So 2 more scores away from that. DeColo in for Massa. He drops it in. ASVEL back on level terms after DeColo's 4th assist. And now DeColo gets one back on Raymond. Remember earlier in the quarter where DeColo was having a bit of a laugh after being whistled underneath the basket for a foul on Raymond. And he gave a little sign to Raymond, like, yeah, pointed towards his eyes. Oh, I'm watching you, I'll get you back. He did, just there. Raymond's second foul. DeColo up against Di Bartolomeo now. Here's Ajinsar mid-range. Won't go. Rebound grabbed by Massa. Can't put it in, though. And Horde takes it in the end. A quiet has fallen across the Menorah Miftachim Arena, as though we're just waiting for the game to explode back into life. Lundberg turns it over. Quick hands from Watson, who shows quick legs as well now. And Ajinsar back to the creator. Now Nondo. Fine pass for Massa, and the throw down from Big Bodian. De Colo's 5th assist, and a bit of a dead leg. Oh, and Lonnie Walker might have a technical here, does he? No, it's stopped for a substitution. I wondered if Walker was complaining here that he was fouled by Massa. No whistle. The big man was able to score. Walker hobbles back to his feet. De Colo to the bench. ASVEL will hope to avoid the same kind of dip they had in the first half whenever De Colo wasn't on the floor. Walker's having a break. Tamir Blatt returns, as does Ertel for ASVEL. Midway through the third quarter, Lundberg on the buzzer. Sorkin grabs the easy rebound, misses, and again, third time lucky. Not quite sure how he missed the second attempt. Puts his hand up to acknowledge that, but that eventually works out for him. Ertel swings it to Ndiaye. Agensa, good three-point shooter, not this time. Sorkin with another board. And it's Tamir Blatt. Horde on to Sorkin and back for Blatt. Sorkin wants another one. And it's a foul on ASVEL. I think that's on Massa. His second. And that will take us into a timeout. A third quarter that has trundled along a little bit. The fans have fallen quiet. We're still all square, as we were at the start of the quarter. 10 points apiece in this third quarter so far. It feels as though we're just rolling along at the moment, building up to a big finish in the final 14 minutes. And it's still anyone's game. Bodian Massa has played a big part in ASVEL's offense. In the last few minutes, a couple of close-range scores from Massa. And was the scorer of the last 2 baskets for his team. In fact, he also got the final score right at the end of the first half. That's taken him up to 6 points. To go with 3 rebounds for the big man, who's in his first season with ASVEL. His first season in the EuroLeague, in fact. Previously played with Manresa in Spain and the French club Bourg. Grab that QR code to make sure you have your EuroLeague fan ID. Give yourself a chance of winning tickets to the grand finale in Athens. What an event that is going to be. One of the world's most passionate basketball cities playing host to the Final Four. 5.5 months from now. Who knows how this season will unfold? So many twists and turns already. ASVEL with Ertel leading the play. Celias back for Watson. The shot is up. Oh, and it does go in. It was in, out. And then shaking it all about for Glyn Watson. The second triple of the night. As Tamir Blatt comes off the foot of Sorkin, who keeps his hands high to avoid having it stripped. And finds Blatt again. Now Horde. Shot clock running low. Jalen Horde going inside, twisting and finishing with great technique and balance. Jalen Horde. A tough score. Ertel wants another triple. He's got a couple already, but not that time. Horde starting to add to his rebounding numbers. He's got 3 in this quarter. As Di Bartolomeo pulls the trigger for 3, that won't go. Hotel, Massa, this is long range for him. And he can't make it. Blatt, Di Bartolomeo, Horde, Sorkin and Lundberg as it's thrown high for Roman Sorkin. Another alley-oop connection for Blatt. He found Horde in the first half. Sorkin now, he's up to 19 points as Hotel looks for the floater, and it's Di Bartolomeo with the defense. After Tamir Blatt and Roman Sorkin combined for the offense. Sorkin, 19 points on 7 of 10 from 2-point range. 5 rebounds as well. Providing the power along with Lonnie Walker for the home team tonight. They're the only players who have more than 6 points for Maccabi. Black for John D. Now Horde looking for Sorkin, but the pass was a bit behind him. He can't gather. Harrison into the game for ASVEL. He finds Hotel, who is fouled by Di Bartolomeo. His first, they had that foul to give. Nondo De Colo returning for ASVEL, who have a dip whenever he's out of the game. Celias in the action for the first time in this half, turning around on Leaf, finding De Colo, somehow takes it and has the control to scoop it up and in, even though it looked like he never really caught it. De Colo, 16 points now, plus 5 assists. Where would they be without him? Well, the bottom of the standings with him, but you know what I'm saying. T.J. Leaf. Haven't seen much of him tonight. Finds Sorkin now and Horde. De Colo is able to get the whistle. And again, thinking that perhaps it should have gone the other way. It's Horde who can go to the line. He struggled there tonight, only 2 of 5. Normally much better than that. Well below his scoring average for the season. Just 6 points so far. Two minutes to play in the third quarter that's bubbled along a little bit rather than exploding to life, but it stayed close. Here's Hotel. Celias moving towards the corner. The pass is looking for De Colo. Horde with the deflection. It will still be ASVEL ball. Hotel can send it back for Harrison. He'll run past Leaf and Sorkin and find Celias in the corner. Doesn't make it, but Massa can get a hand on it. Back to De Colo. Hotel. Celias again. Another miss. It's not been his night. 1 of 6 from 3-point range. And here sidestepping is Blatt. Celias can't take the rebound. Sorkin kicks it back. Horde open. Doesn't make it. Celias takes this rebound. And Hotel running the floor to find Harrison. Didn't want to take on Horde. It goes back to Hotel. Massa looking to set a screen for him. Hotel goes round it. Finds his way to the rim, but Sorkin is there to swat the ball against the glass. Adding some strong defense to his great offense. And now here's Leaf looking for Sorkin, who is outnumbered. that manages to retain possession. There's the big block from Sorkin, big size advantage on Hertel, and he made that look easy. The second block of the night for Sorkin. Horde to the bench. And Lonnie Walker is back in as Di Bartolomeo stays out there. Sorkin drawing the foul there, which will send him to the line. 6 of 7 for the night. Roman Sorkin. And he's closing in on a career high. He has 21 points now. His personal best is 23. A couple of years ago against Olympiacos. 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's been a slower pace, more defensively dominated quarter. Hertel finds De Colo onto Celias. He'll keep shooting and he'll make this one. After a series of misses, he's 2 of 7 now from three-point range. Zach Celias kept his confidence, kept on shooting, got his reward. Final play of the third, and it's Tamir Blatt making it the penultimate play. In fact, there's no time, though, for ASVEL to do anything, so triples traded at the end of the quarter. Tamir Blatt makes his second of the night. They get the home fans singing again. Maccabi edge out to a 4-point lead, 69-65, with 10 minutes remaining in the Menorah Miftachim Arena. ASVEL continuing to shoot the ball better from long range, partly thanks to that strike from Celias right at the end of the quarter, but Maccabi becoming more and more dominant on the boards. 11 offensive rebounds now. In total, it's 34-22, the rebounding battle in favor of the home team. And it has been for ASVEL in the last few weeks a tough ask to stay competitive in the fourth quarters. They suffered in that way at Barcelona, at Hapoel. So that's a challenge for them now, to keep pushing for 40 minutes. And if not, you know that Maccabi will have the physical strength. They're a bigger team, and they'll certainly get an injection of energy from the fans. Certainly feel that Sorkin has been feeding off the fans tonight. He was the top performer of the third quarter. He has a PIR now of 27, 13 of which came in that third quarter, with 10 points, 5 rebounds to make him the BKT best player in the quarter. His highest ever PIR is 33. So he could end up, if he keeps going, with a career high in scoring and PIR. And he is in the game at the start of the fourth quarter. Di Bartolomeo saying that came last off the Colo, but the referee's not agreeing. Oded Katash says, is that worth a review? He's got 2 remaining. And indeed, the Maccabi coach does want the refs to look at that, so we'll see. Did the last touch come off the foot of Nondo De Colo? Well, I think at this point we need to conclude the conversation because it's close, but it's not conclusive, and it has to be conclusive to overturn.
One frame back and change the camera. Which one? This one. Okay, this one.
והנה קוביית המסכים, נגיד שלום לליאל עבדה. אהלן ליאל, שחקן נבחרת ישראל, שחקן ה-MLS. גם הוא שמח שחזרנו. אהלן ליאל.
Well, after all that, they stay with the original decision because, as we could see pretty early, there was nothing conclusive. Yeah, you could argue, oh, maybe De Colo got a last touch, but the images were too blurry. And there was nothing definitive to show that he did touch it. So we're back where we started. ASVEL ball. Oded Katash needs to be careful or he'll get called for a technical. Feels like the fourth quarter's been going for 10 minutes. We've only had 6 seconds. We can now resume, and it will still be ASVEL ball. 4-point margin. Celias on the dribble, taking it to the hole, but can't finish. Leaf rebounds and squeezes away to find Blatt. Blatt looking inside for Sorkin, who holds off seemingly the whole defense, but can't finish. So neither offense finding a way to score at the start of the final period. Let's see if De Colo can. He'll kick it out to Ertel. Spinning away, kicking it back. Ndiaye. Nice pass for Celias underneath, but he can't score. So still no points. Here's Lonnie Walker. Back for Sorkin. Now in for Leaf, but too low the pass, and an easy interception for Harrison. So both teams misfiring still. Ertel will try to change that. It will just drop in for Thomas Ertel. He had to send that high to get it over the hands of the defense, and that is the first 2 of the night for Ertel. Lonnie Walker, can he be Maccabi's man again? He's fouled in the act of shooting. So he'll go to the line as Ndiaye gets called for his first foul. This was the score somehow at the other end from Ertel, just scooping it over TJ Leaf. And Lonnie Walker has made his only previous free throw tonight, closing in on his personal best. 3 points shy of that now. And a player who you sense is going to be extremely popular in Tel Aviv in the coming months. Lonnie Walker. A real talent, the talent to win games for you. His 25 points tonight could help do that. 4-point margin at the moment. Here's Ertel up against Sorkin. Wants to go one-on-one against him. Ertel, oh no, unlucky. As it rolls around and out. Leaf with his 7th rebound of the game. Here's John Di Bartolomeo. Gets past Ertel, who fouls him on the floor. Oded Katash not quite in agreement. Thought that maybe Di Bartolomeo had started his shooting motion. As Blatt gets it in for Walker, trying to set a career high in scoring with that 3, but he's off the mark. He's only 2 of 7 now from long range. Walker, incidentally, has tied his career high in rebounding tonight, as well as closing in on his scoring mark. There's a foul as Watson tried to get into a shooting position. Di Bartolomeo whistled. And the fourth quarter continues to be a little bit scrappy. De Colo's headed to the bench for perhaps his last break, with Melvin Aginsar in. Littell also on the bench now with Watson instead here, leading the backcourt for ASVEL. Up against Blatt, tries to get around him. The floater from Glyn Watson is smoothly dispatched. He's up to 13 now. And ASVEL very much hanging in there. Blatt with Sorkin setting a screen. Back for the big man. For three, Roman Sorkin. 24 points. And that is a new career high. Here's Aginsar. Can't score. That was touched last by Sorkin, according to the refs. He's saying that his hand was pushed onto the ball. Here's his three. That sends him into uncharted territory. 24 points on the night for Sorkin. 8 of 14 from the field, and there's confirmation of it. That is the best in his EuroLeague career. And it dates back 5 years now. Roman Sorkin, a lot of experience under his belt. 138 appearances. Harrison turning around, can't score. There's Horde, who's moving towards his usual rebounding numbers. 6 for him tonight now. Blatt looking for Horde. And Giaye stepped in, but it fell to Di Bartolomeo. And now Watson fouling Horde as he went to shoot. It's just a feeling that Maccabi's physicality might be taking over here. The rebounding disparity continues to grow. And the home team looking stronger with every passing minute. Horde rolls in the free throw. Maccabi 16 of 20 from the line now. ASVEL have got to find the strength and the energy to live with the hosts in the final 7 minutes. And it's been a 7-2 run for Maccabi in the last 3 minutes. Dangerous time for the visiting team. Coach Poupet responds by bringing De Colo back in. He finds Watson for the deep three, rebounded by Ndiaye, who felt he was fouled as he dropped it in. Doesn't get the three-point play, but does get the score. That was an important offensive rebound. As Horde flies to the basket and off the glass, he's up into double digits now. It's a slow start to the game for Horde, but he's becoming stronger and stronger as the night goes on. De Colo misses one. Walker there sets his new personal best in rebounding. If he hits a three here, he'll set his personal best in scoring as well. Instead, he goes in to tie that number with the layup. So Lonnie Walker showing his ability at both ends of the floor. In the space of 10 seconds, he sets a new personal best in rebounding and then ties a personal best in scoring. That encapsulates his night as he takes Maccabi into a 9-point lead, and it is looking like another fourth quarter capitulation for ASVEL. They've still got time to turn it around, but they've got to do it soon. Less than 6 minutes remaining.
opposite, okay? Maybe DC.
It's been a strong surge from Maccabi in the last few minutes to get themselves into a handy lead. Jalen Horde and then Lonnie Walker scoring at the rim. What a night it's been for Walker. As I said, he's set his personal best in rebounding. He's tied his personal best in scoring. He's way past his personal best in PIR, which was 25. It's 31 tonight. He and Sorkin, the clear leaders for Maccabi, but it's not over yet. ASVEL, if they can go on a little run here, will give themselves hope for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Watson from mid-range starts that run that they need. 15 points for Glyn Watson. He and DeColo have the firepower to get the visiting team back into it here, especially if Maccabi turn the ball over as they have here. Something both teams have done well tonight, avoiding turnovers. 10 for Maccabi, only 6 for ASVEL. Now DeColo. Ajinsar for 3, short. Walker with another rebound and closing in on a double-double now, just 1 rebound short of that. Can he take it on himself? He's up against Celias. There's a push off the ball by Ajinsar on Marcio Santos. And that takes them to 4 fouls now in the quarter. Ajinsar's 3rd of the game. Again, they get it back in the hands of Lonnie Walker. Ford sets the screen. Lonnie for 3. Another offensive rebound. Lundberg finds John D. And then flies in, trying to save the play after the miss. Good hustle from Ife Lundberg. To no avail. John Di Bartolomeo, 1 of 4 from 3-point range now tonight. He made his first and nothing since. Ajinsar replaced by Ertel, so they've got all the explosive offense that they can muster. ASVEL with Ertel, Watson and DeColo. 3 guards in the game. Along with Ndiaye and Celias. Marcio Santos trying to guard DeColo. It's worked around the perimeter. Ndiaye will take on the 3. Long rebound falls to Watson. He'll take on an even longer 3 and makes it. And back come ASVEL. 9 down a minute ago. 5 points from Glyn Watson. Takes him up to 18 points, the leading scorer for the team now. Eclipsing DeColo. Here's Sorkin. Ndiaye didn't feel he was fouling, but the decision goes against him. It's not a foul he wanted to make there. This was a 3 that Watson wanted. He's hit 3 of 5 from long range tonight now. Nothing wrong with the defense from Horde. That was just great offense, beating solid defense. Time to think about voting for your fan favourite player of the night. A couple of obvious candidates in Maccabi's yellow. Lonnie Walker and Roman Sorkin, but the latter not doing his cause any good, missing a couple of free throws, but then he grabs the rebound and gives Maccabi another possession. And now a swat from Ndiaye, who runs the floor. At the other end, they find DeColo. What? Did I see that? An air ball from Nondo DeColo when he was open. Don't think it was a deflection there. Now, Coach Pupe wants a review for potential unsportsmanlike foul under the basket at the other end. We saw, I think it was Celias going to the ground. Didn't see why. We'll find out on the replay if this is to be an act of violence by a Maccabi player, which could be a A big swing, so let's listen in.
על פעולה אלימה כביכול.
The previous one.
Act of violence.
It's Marcio Santos in the paint.
Stop here, give me the control. Stop here. Nothing. I mean, it's not contact now, or it's not. No, not nothing. That's why normal play for the yellow.
Yeah, well, that one didn't take long, didn't need to. There was no violence there from Marcio Santos, just jostling for position. Worth a challenge for Coach Poupé at this stage. He hadn't used one yet. He was just trying to get into position to receive the pass. So no foul. See Glyn Watson scoring by quarter. Nothing in the first, but he's contributed steadily since then. He's got his team back to a 4-point margin. Here's Lonnie Walker. He's got Ife Lundberg for company in the backcourt, and he needs his help as he was double-teamed. Lundberg, crossover, three, no good. Who's getting the rebound? And Jaye and Celias between them take it for ASVEL. They are staying competitive here, as they had struggled to do in their last two road games in the fourth quarter. Ertel looking for the alley-oop. Oh, what a block from Sorkin, blocking the alley-oop. And at the other end, here is Lundberg in for Sorkin to finish what he started. Roman Sorkin, after making his fourth block of the night, goes right to the other end, receives the pass from Lundberg and drops it in. Now it's a 6-point game. Watson steps back for three and makes it. So Glyn Watson single-handedly keeping ASVEL in it. He scored his team's last 8 points. No one apart from him has scored for ASVEL in 4 minutes. But here at the other end is Horde, blowing an easy layup, but getting his own rebound. And where were ASVEL? No defense, even to contest the rebound when he missed. Can Watson keep on firing? He'll have to. He's fouled on the floor with fouls to give. Sorkin, an intelligent foul there. It's great game awareness. That was a spectacular block. And then a simple finish at the other end to take advantage of his own good work. 2 minutes to play. ASVEL down by 5. Ertel, one-on-one against Sorkin. Mid-range, good from Thomas Ertel. It is a one-possession game. The first game back in Tel Aviv in more than 2 years. Is a thriller, building up to a big finish. Lonnie Walker drives, scores, career high, 29 points. To make it a 5-point margin. Watson, he's been the man for ASVEL in the last few minutes. There's 90 seconds left. Gets it to DeColo. Watson open for three, well short. Celias can't grab it. Watson, though, can, but gives it away, and that's going to be a turnover, a backcourt violation. Watson and DeColo weren't on the same page. ASVEL had their chances there. Lonnie Walker leading the cheers. The fans respond. This is what they've been missing, and they're loving it. What a night for Roman Sorkin. 26 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocked shots, PIR of 29. A career night for him, as it has been for Lonnie Walker. Will it be enough? Ife Lundberg, an experienced cool head, Up against Celias. Kicks it for Horde. And that's a travel. He could have shot the ball straight away there, Horde, but was hesitant to do so. And so ASVEL somehow get a stop. Now Maccabi do have 2 fouls to give. ASVEL with the same 3 guards out there. Ertel, Watson, DeColo. And Giaye and Celias complete the 5. Ertel against Marcio Santos. Looks for another mid-range finish. Not this time, but Lundberg can't take the rebound. Watson for another 3, another miss. And another opportunity escapes ASVEL. They've had them in the last few minutes. Lonnie Walker finding Lundberg, and that is a foul that Ndiaye had to take to save the clock. It will give Lundberg a chance to go to the line and make it a 3-possession game if he can knock both down, which would go a long way towards taking Maccabi to victory. The first goes, and now this for a 7-point margin and a 3-possession lead. It is good. Maccabi have fouls to give, but they won't really want to use them. They want to keep the clock going. As Ertel sends it in for Ndiaye. Double teamed, almost loses it, does lose it. Lundberg, and that should be it. On the breakaway, it's Horde for the throwdown and for the win. Maccabi are back in Tel Aviv, and they are back in business. It's going to be 2 straight wins after last week's road triumph in Kaunas. They are going to celebrate with their fans at home. And pick up consecutive victories for the first time this season. Pierrick Poupé trying to stay calm, but it is a forlorn task now. The margin, 9 points, and there is a key number. The rebounding has been increasingly dominated by Maccabi. And it's another late fade away from ASVEL, who were very much in the game just a couple of minutes ago. But just as at Barcelona, just as at Hapoel, they've been unable to last the pace. Maccabi have profited. They're back at home, the fans are back. And what a boost they are going to give the team over the next few months. After tonight, Maccabi are going to have to embark mostly on a road trip. We've got a double round week coming up next week. One of those games is here against Valencia, but other than that, 5 of their next 6 are on the road. But they finish the season with 4 out of 6 at home. If they're still in playoff contention, then you never know. This win will help. Ife Lundberg and go to the line after Coach Poupé was called for a technical foul. His frustration is evident as his team sink to another defeat. It's tough to take for Poupé and his men after another road game where they've come close to grabbing a win, but falling short in the end. De Colo off behind the back and dropped in by Ndiaye. The chance for a three-point play. Beautiful pass from De Colo. Look at this feed. No look behind the back for the charging Mbaye Ndiaye, who is fouled in the process. What a pass. Ndiaye completes the three-point play. He's up to 12 points now. ASVEL want the quick foul, and they get Lundberg. And give them credit for going until the end. ASVEL could easily have gone, you know what, 10 seconds left, down by 7. Let's just let them bounce the ball out. But they've got their eye on the head-to-head now. They want to lose by as few points as possible, in case the teams are tied at the end of the season. That is the first tiebreaker, head-to-head record. But Lundberg has been ice cool from the line in the last few minutes. That's 4 in a row in the last 30 seconds for him. He misses that one, but runs in to get the rebound nearly. And Ndiaye just about able to. Now Watson in transition. Celias for 3 on the buzzer, won't go. And that will be the end of the game. Maccabi triumphant on their return to Tel Aviv. They waited